Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to night number 77 of the Overnight Feed recaps for Big Brother Season 25. A happy hump day to all of y'all. One more day until we get to Eviction Day, a new HOH. I'm ready for it. I think I know what's going to happen come tomorrow. I think everyone pretty much knows. We've got Corey and America on the block. It certainly seems like Corey is the primary target, as much as America's gone on and on about how it was her fault. She wants to go. Corey needs to stay. Don't think it's going to happen. I think Corey's going to go home. Now, there was a little talk about saving him last night. We're going to talk about that, but I think Corey is probably heading home. The exciting part of tomorrow is going to be the HOH. Who wins it? Who takes control? Because people are certainly pointing to each other and trying to figure out where their place is in the game. So let's talk about what happened yesterday and yesterday evening. Let's start off with a conversation between Blue and America. Yeah, they finally had their talk. Remember, America didn't really want to talk to anyone. She slept on it. She still didn't want to talk to anyone, but she knows that she needs to. She eventually talked to Blue. They went out and sat on a little bench by the pool and had a little discussion. It went so. Blue is saying that personally she was cool with America. She used a slang term, which I still don't get, but she said she was cool with America, but that as far as gameplay goes, as far as playing the game, that America had really done her dirty by telling her that Matt and Jag were targeting Blue. She was telling her the truth. I don't know why Blue considers that doing her dirty, but that's what she's claiming. I think more she's talking about the fact America was trying to drive this wedge between Blue and Matt and Jag. It's what she's referring to as doing her dirty, even though she was telling the truth. But yeah, Blue saying America did her dirty in telling her that. Blue says, look, Matt and Jag have never done me dirty. Well, except for putting you on the block and planning to send you out the door unless you won the veto. But other than that, yeah, nothing at all. But yeah, so she's explaining to America just why she was so upset. Blue is saying that Jag talked to her after the veto and told her that America was very much on the anti-Blue train, was going to be on that train forever. And therefore, as far as gameplay, they just can't work together. Now, isn't it interesting? She mentioned that Jag talked to her after the veto ceremony, after Blue had won. And I say after the veto competition, after Blue had won the veto and knew she was safe, then Jag approached her and talked to her about America. I think that's an important point, but Blue's kind of glossing over that. But anyway, so she's explaining all this to America. She's accusing America of having no intention of keeping her, that she never planned on trying to keep Blue in the house. And America's denying that, saying, no, I did. I was talking to Corey. I was trying to nudge him in that direction. I was working with him. I was trying to convince him. No, I wanted to keep you. Blue's not buying it at all. Blue's also saying that the decision wasn't this decision to put her and Corey on the block. It wasn't really based on what America had told Blue. She said, well, not completely, just a little bit, but really it's a lot more than that. So that's kind of refuting America just continuing to argue or continuing to suggest that it's all about what she said to Blue. It's been a lot more now. Blue's been targeting Corey in America forever. So Blue is saying, it's not just what you said. America's mentioning that she was really kind of upset because she had been blindsided. She mentioned that Bowie had said that she didn't know about Jag's plan to put Corey and America on the block. That Bowie had said, I didn't know until maybe a little bit right before and all that. And Blue saying, well, no, Bowie Jane actually knew all about it. She was rather excited. She was even giddy about it, America. So yeah, Blue's laying it out to America. Is she doing it because she wants America to have all the facts, or is she doing it because she just wants to rub it in? I'll let y'all decide. I certainly have my opinion, but yeah, she's telling America that now Bowie was on board as well. Bowie certainly was aware of it, no matter what she tells you. America's saying that she knows that Blue is good with Matt and Jag now, but she's questioning whether Blue really thinks that the two of them are going to take her to a final three. And she says, Matt and Jag, they're planning to go to the end with Suri and Felicia. Do you really think that they're going to take you to the end instead? Blue responds, says that, well, you know what? I'm very proud of the game that I've played so far. And whether that includes those two guys or not is not my business. And it's not your business, America. All right. Well, so they didn't exactly make up, did they? No, not really. I think Blue's a little upset that America's trying to lay out some facts that Blue just doesn't want to hear. She's going to find out eventually. She may find out the hard way. She may find out, I don't know, in 48 hours or so, depending on who wins the HOH. But yeah, they had the conversation, but I can't say that they kissed and made up. At one point, I think Blue said something to America about, well, you're always my girl. And America said, I'm not so sure about that. All right, we've got Matt and Jag and America now talking. Jag is talking about, no, not Matt and Jag in America. Matt and Jag, I think it was Bowie Jane. I have to correct my notes, but Jag is saying if the next competition involves picking a house guest to go up, some of those where two people compete, whoever wins picks the next one and do it like that. Jag's saying if we have a competition like that, we need to pick America until she's gone. We cannot let her win this HOH. Well, of course not. She and Corey have been going around telling everyone they're going to go after Matt and Jag. So Jag is very insistent on making sure America doesn't win the next HOH. Now, I got to say, if I'm, I don't know, Suri or Felicia, or maybe Bowie even, I may just be willing to kind of throw this next HOH to America. Just let her do her work, do her damage, keep the blood off of your hands. Now, saying that at this point in the game, for anyone to throw any HOH shows a whole lot of trust in your position of the game. It's easier said than done. But yeah, I'm sure a few people would be perfectly happy to let America stick around and take the shot against Jag and Matt if she got the chance. As those Suri and Felicia are going to throw an HOH. You got to be in a position to win it first. All right, we've got the house guests did get kind of a milestone. They had Zingbot, they've had OTEV, they get another milestone yesterday. They got the smaller table. The table that seats 8 people instead of 16. It's kind of a big deal when we got it. And then later, when we got our Final Four table, which was a tiny little coffee table, yeah, it makes you realize how many people have already left the house. So they're excited to get the smaller table for sure. Suri also had some excitement of her own. Well, she maybe wouldn't call it exciting. I don't even know as viewers I'd call it exciting. But Suri did get to practice some, we'll air quote, superhero duties. Yeah, she had to get in the pool for 2 hours. She looked absolutely miserable doing it while wearing her superhero unitard. She had to get in the pool. Did not play along with it. She sat there just looking miserable for most of the time, waiting for her time to run out. She eventually got to get out of the pool. Did that. And just about the time she's going in to work on dinner and things like that, they tell her that she has to do 100 laps around the backyard as well. So Suri the superhero, playing Aquaman, playing Flashback. Well, she wasn't going fast enough to be Flash, but doing a little tour of the backyard for a while as well. So we're seeing her get to do a few superhero duties. All right, we've got Corey pitching to Felicia. Now, when I talk about, I'll say pitching when Corey talks to people. When America is with people, I'll just say talking because they're both campaigning, but Corey certainly a little bit more than America is at that point. I really would call what he's doing pitching this point. So he's pitching to Felicia. He's saying, look, it's kind of a toss-up probably between you and Blue and America as far as which two of y'all are going to be on the block next week. He said, but y'all are the 3. It's just which of y'all 2 end up on there. And he's telling her, saying, Felicia, you really would have a much better chance of winning if you are on the block. You'd have a much better chance of winning if I'm still in the house and I'm still on the block with you, because no one's going to vote to send you out the door as long as I'm on the block with you. So in other words, save me. If the wrong person, he said this before, if I win HOH, I'm not going after you, so you're safe. If someone else wins the HOH, they put me on the block, you end up there as well. Well, you're safe that way too, because no one's going to save me and vote you out. So that's one of the pitches he's throwing to Felicia. He's also saying that there needs to be a force against Matt and Jag because Bowie and Blue are with them. He said those 2 aren't going to flip right now. It's going to be Matt and Jag against you and Suri. There needs to be someone in America. There needs to be someone else in there that has a chance to win some of these things that can go after him. So that's one of the arguments he's making. He does say at one point that he thinks that Matt and Jag are underestimating Felicia, and he thinks that Blue and America and Bowie are probably next out even before Felicia. Now he wants to tell Bowie that. He tells her, Felicia says, do I have your permission to go talk to Bowie and tell her some things? And I think that's what he's talking about, that Bowie may be a quicker target than she thinks, as opposed to Felicia. And then also he's saying that it isn't necessarily about him staying. Of course it isn't. No, why would Corey do that? He's saying it's not as much about me staying as it is about shifting the status quo and the power in his house. And I just think you need me in order to make that happen, Felicia. He has one other comment he mentioned that Blue and Bowie were kind of really tight with Matt and Jag. He's wondering if there's some way they can break that up. He's suggesting to Felicia that maybe she could talk to Bowie and suggest that Matt and Jag had approached her about a final 3 or final 4, and therefore that means Bowie is lower on the pecking order, and try to do something to drive Bowie apart from Matt and Jag. He suggested it. Felicia not really so into it, but Corey's doing what he can to make. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but Corey trying to do what he can to campaign to stay in the house without throwing America under the bus. I will give him credit. He's not saying horrible things about her. He's trying to just promote why he would be better for them in the house. So they have their little conversation. All right. Corey's also saying to Felicia that whether he or America stays either one, he just doesn't want Matt and Jag being in the final 2 chairs. He doesn't want to see that. And he's telling Felicia, says at the end of the day, you can't trust. I don't know if he used the word trust. He says you don't want Matt and Jag with you, having to depend on them. You really need to get Bowie Jane on board with you, as opposed to Matt and Jag. Good luck with Felicia and Bowie Jane working together. Have they worked together at all this season? Nah, I don't think so. So he's pushing it. I don't know that he's wrong. I just don't know that it'll happen. All right. Felicia almost immediately passes all this info on to Jag. Jag is pointing out that if Corey had his way, Felicia, you'd be going home on Thursday. He was the one pushing. He didn't want these vetoes being used. He wanted you going home. So, for him to now be saying, oh, well, he cares about you, he wants to work with you, Jag saying, no, none of that. He wanted you gone on Thursday. Just always keep that in mind. He's also saying that she was always good with him and Matt, though. He said, you were on the block. We would not have let you go home. There's just no way, which is true. They were going for Blue. But he's letting her know that, no, this is just Corey spinning stuff, saying that we're opposed to you and all that. It's not true. We were going to save you on Thursday. You're still good with us. So at that point, Felicia saying that she could really envision, she would really like to see a final 4 of her and Cirie and Matt and Jag, making it right there to the end. Jag's agreeing, said, I'm so happy to hear you say that. Well, of course he is. If I'm Matt and Jag, I'm all kinds of excited about having Cirie and Felicia as the other 2 in a final 4 that we have to beat for HOH and comps in order to make it to the end. So yeah, he's pretty happy hearing that as well. Jag is saying that the nice part of this week is that a line has been drawn in the sand, so to speak. He won't have to pretend or work with America anymore, because now the battle lines have been drawn. So none of this pretending. Yeah, there's a lot of pretending still going on in this house, but at least not with America, I guess, as far as the way Jag's working with her. Felicia is pointing out that to Jag that America is continuing to say that she is going after Matt and Jag from this week onwards. Well, of course, America or Corey, either one. Talking about battle lines being drawn, whoever stays is most obviously targeting Matt and Jag. I just don't see it going any other direction at this point in time. All right, we've got America talking to Bowie Jane. She's explaining what happened with Blue, the conversation she had, and that she didn't expect that Blue would then immediately go to Matt and Jag and tell them. And she's telling Bowie Jane, saying, it was just hypothetical. I was just throwing out scenarios and asking her how comfortable she was going to the end with Matt and Jag. It was nothing but just a what if kind of deal. And she took it and ran with it. And that's where we are, why we're where we are right now. She's pointing out to Bowie Jane as well. She's saying, do you realize once Corey or myself are gone, that after that, Matt and Jag are the only duo left in this house that are truly working together. Which decent point. I think it's important to continue to remind Bowie that maybe she is kind of the third wheel within that group. She's saying that she won't ever work with Matt and Jag again within the game, that those bridges have been burned. It's just not going to happen. She is going to be going after them. America's also saying that she doesn't want to feel all alone in this house. And once Corey's gone, she knows she's going to feel like that. I think kind of hint, hint, I'd love to work with you a little bit, Bowie. Bowie's pointing out saying, yeah, I get it. I kind of felt alone and betrayed when Red got voted out and no one told me about that. I know what it's like to feel all alone, America. So sympathetic. Yeah. Empathetic. Maybe not so much. I think Bowie Jane's pointing out that, you weren't so concerned when it happened to me, America. But yes, America is telling her that. America's also telling Bowie Jane, that she isn't going after Bowie Jane if America wins HOH. Not at first. She's got much bigger targets to fry, but she is letting Bowie Jane know that she's safe if she stays in the house going forward. All right, we've got Blue and Jag and Felicia and Suri. I think if I recall, they were all around the new dining table, around the kitchen area, just kind of that area. Started off a little bit as general talk. Blue and Jag certainly griping about America. Suri and Felicia not really contributing so much, but they're in there. They're listening. But Blue and Jag griping about America. Blue again reminding Matt Blue again reminding Jag that America is most definitely coming after him and Matt. Felicia at this point, they shift the conversation a little bit. Felicia starts talking about Corey, about the conversation she had with Corey that I mentioned a little while ago, about Corey suggesting that they try to convince Bowie that she is at the bottom with Matt and Jag so they could get Bowie over to her side and America or Corey's side and, try to break her apart from Matt and Jag. And she's saying, Corey actually suggested that I go tell Bowie Jane that I was approached by the two of y'all to form a Final Four as a way to get Bowie to not trust y'all as much and get over on our side. And Jag's hearing that, he's laughing, saying, man, he's just lying everywhere. Well, everyone is. At one point, Suri's talking, saying she didn't want to talk to anyone anymore because it's nothing but a whole bunch of liars in the entire house. And she's just kind of tired of it. Yeah, that's what Big Brother's all about sometimes. Corey's talking to Bowie a little bit more while he's in the shower. At first he said, hey, when you get a second, I may want to talk to you about some stuff. Well, they start talking right then and there. It was always so awkward when people were trying to talk to me while I was in the shower or vice versa as well. What a weird house the Big Brother house is. But yeah, Corey's talking to Bowie while he's showering. He's saying that he was told not to tell Bowie Jane that he knew about Jag being the invisible HOH and Jag putting up Blue and Felicia and all that. He says, I knew all about it, but I was told specifically, do not tell you, because they didn't want to include you in that information. And Corey's saying, eventually I convinced Jag that, no, we ought to go ahead and tell Bowie as well. And so Jag said, okay. And that's why you knew Bowie Jane, not because of Jag, but because of me. Jag was trying to keep it hidden from you. So he is telling Bowie about that. He's telling Corey is convinced. Oh, and then he convinced Jag to tell her. He's also saying that he's saying, look, I understand why they came after me. They thought I was going after them. He said the reality was I wasn't going after them, but now that they've come after me, I don't have any choice. Now going forward, I have to go after the two of them, Bowie. I'm not going after you, but I have to go after the two of them because they came after me first. Well, Corey and America certainly were planning to come after Matt and Jag also. They just got beat to the draw, so to speak. But he's telling Bowie Jane that at this point, I got to do what I got to do. It doesn't involve you. It involves those two guys, though. All right, we've got Bowie and Felicia agreeing that Corey is a target, that he needs to go home this week. A little more conversation that, but that was the key part of it. They've both agreed that, yeah, it's, I think Bowie Jane at one point says, America and Corey talked to me. I kind of was listening to what they were saying and kind of getting what they're saying. But then I realized it's got to be Corey. And Felicia said, and I agree too. So as much as he's campaigned, it doesn't look like it's sticking. So Corey definitely still the target at this point in time. So we've got that. All right. Finally, we have Corey and America in bed. She's still not feeling great, but after 24 hours, she's feeling a little bit better. But the two of them are in bed. Corey is thinking at this point in time that Felicia might be the only one that's actually interested in keeping him. Well, no, not really. Even Felicia either, Corey. It's not looking too good, but he thinks that really Bowie Jane probably will not keep him, and he certainly doesn't think Blue's going to hold on to him either, or Matt for that matter. So he understands that the writing is on the wall. Corey's saying that he's gonna miss the house, having certainly missed America, missed playing the game, all that. What he is not going to miss is the bright lights in this house. I understand completely, Corey. Y'all do not realize how bright those lights are. It's for the filming and all that. There are lights up all over the ceiling, pointing down everywhere. Sometimes you don't notice it so much. Certainly when you're trying to sleep at night and they won't turn the lights off, it's horrible. It gets a little hot in that house as a result as well. At least during the summertime. Maybe not so much when they're filming as late as they are. But Corey's saying he's not going to miss the bright lights at all. And with that, a little bit of flirting, talking about how pretty they look up close to each other and all that, which leads to a little kissing and makeout session as well. Now, later, America, they stopped the makeout session long enough for America to talk about this idea about when people knew about the flip taking place and all that. America saying, someone's lying to me. I don't know who knew what, but the stories aren't matching up. Someone's lying to me about when they knew. Well, that someone's pretty much Bowie Jane. Does it matter at this point? Yeah, not really. But she realizes that stories aren't matching up. All right, we've got Cirie, Felicia, Jag, and Matt in the comic room. Jag's going over strategy at one point. They are finally not talking about slip and slide. There's been a couple of people that said, we've had so many physical comps. I think we won't have a physical comp this week for HOH. So thankfully, they stopped talking about slip and slide, which means probably Thursday slip and slide. We'll see. I don't think so, but Jag is talking about another competition they sometimes have, the stay or fold game, where the person who is farthest away, I think, gets eliminated. Person that's closest gets a vote. You decide after everyone gives their answers if you want to stay and fold. He's going through the strategy with all of them of how they can make sure the four of them stay to the end. And it's strategy of basically one person folds every time, so they're not eliminated. He goes all into it, and there is a way to break the game. So he's explaining to them how to do that. After Jag and Matt leave, so now it's just Cirie and Felicia. Felicia is saying, Blue probably didn't like, or Blue did not like the fact that the four of us are hanging out in this room together like we just did for so long. And so, Blue's got to see them hanging out and get a little bit nervous about where her place really is within this house. They've got to be careful about who's hanging out with who for too long. Felicia, in fact, is talking about that, saying, I'm sure Blue didn't like seeing that. She's saying, we don't really have to hang out with Matt and Jag until after the new HOH and after Corey is gone. And then based on who gets the HOH and all that, we'll hang out with them or not. If Blue is to win HOH, maybe we won't hang out with them so much. We'll hang out with her. So she is recognizing that maybe they need to just kind of stay back a little bit and not make it look too obvious that they're getting closer with one another. So she's telling Cirie about that. They joke a little bit about keeping Corey. They said it jokingly, but whether it's jokingly said or not, when someone brings it up, it gets in the air and people, it means someone's got to be thinking about it. But they are talking a little bit about, what if we did keep Corey? But they're realizing that in order to keep him, they would also have to get Blue's vote. 2 votes isn't going to do it. They'd have to get Blue's vote. I don't think they think there's any chance that that's probably going to happen. Cirie is saying that Blue thinks that she is with Matt and Jag at this point in time. But she's pointing out, she's saying Blue thinks she's with Matt and Jag. Bowie Jane thinks they're with Matt and Jag. And Cirie, you and I think we're with Matt and Jag. Everyone thinks that they're with Matt and Jag, which is kind of scary. And Felicia's saying, next HOH, Matt or Jag win, and they're going to have to show their hand. They're going to have to show who their true loyalties are. It sounds like it could be Blue that they would be going after, which would make Cirie and Felicia certainly happy. But Felicia's recognizing that if they win next HOH, they're going to have to reveal a little bit more based on who they put on the block at that point in time. Cirie is saying that they're going to have to get rid of Matt and Jag before they get to the end. She's saying, I love the guys, I absolutely do, but they cannot make it to the end. We've got to get rid of them before that point in time. She's talking about how cocky Matt and Jag are right now. funny how an HOH reign does that to a person, right? Felicia's saying, well, yeah, they are. And yeah, we need to get rid of them. But she's saying, look, when we get down to the final four or the final five, we're going to have more mental competitions. At that point, we can take Matt and Jag out. We can win the mental comps. We'll get rid of them at final four or final five. Cirie shaking her head, no, it's not going to work like that. Yeah, I remember saying the same thing to Nicole. She and I both thought, no, we'll wait till final 4 or 5 to get out Mickey. It'll be mental comps at that point. We'll get them out at that point in time. Yeah, instead we got a whole lot of physical comps right at the end, which certainly benefited him. Didn't benefit us so much, but yeah, Felicia's thinking the same thing. Let's just wait till we get to the mental comps, then we'll get them out the door. Cirie recognizing that we can't wait anymore. The first chance we get, we got to get them out the door at this point in time. Cirie is wondering as well if maybe Matt and Jag are they truly intent on taking each other to the final two? Is there a possibility that one of them, fearing the votes from the jury for the other one, would not want to take the other one? Wondering if maybe some people could sneak in, perhaps, if that was to take place. I think it's a valid question. Cirie's also talking about getting rid of Bowie Jane pretty quickly, and then maybe using America as the excuse somehow to get out Bowie, let her go after Bowie or something. I don't know. It wasn't really thought all the way through, but certainly saying that they need to get out Matt and Jag, but also get Bowie out the door as well, and maybe use America to do that, and maybe get a little tighter with America as a result, because they certainly know that America doesn't want to work with Matt and Jag, so it kind of leaves them as maybe the next best option. So there you have it, guys. Lights out by, I don't know, midnight or so. It wasn't a late night for these house guests. There's only so much campaigning you can do when the target is already pretty much identified, and that's where we're at. Nothing has changed. It still seems like Corey is going out the door. America is going to have a vengeance. The question is just, can America win an HOH? She's due. I want to see her win an HOH. She's going to certainly bring the heat to this next week if she does. If she doesn't win, there's a good chance that whoever does, Blue could be in trouble. Can I say I wouldn't mind seeing her sweating a little bit right now as well, just because she's been so excited to be rubbing America and Corey's face this week. So, well, we'll see what happens. That'll happen tomorrow night. All right, guys, until tomorrow morning, y'all have a fantastic Wednesday. I will be back tomorrow morning, give you a recap of what happened overnight. Wednesdays tend to be when people waffle and flip and all of that. I don't think it'll happen this week, but hey, stranger things have happened. So check out in the morning. I'll let you know what's going on. Until then, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.